This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, and welcome back to another Realistic Sustainability Educational Short. This week, we get to talk about biomimicry. As an engineer, I really enjoy biomimicry, but you may not know what it is. It's when we design products or materials, structures, or systems after biological entities or processes. Well, in a better way of putting it, we look at where nature made their mistakes and we skip them. I like that. Nature's had millions of years to figure out how to solve problems, and we can kind of catch up just by looking to see how nature dealt with a problem. As an engineer, it's the first place I look. Has nature solved this for me yet? If it's no, then I guess I have to do my own work. But if it's yes, I look brilliant because I've solved a problem that hadn't been solved yet. There's a lot of examples where engineering has done this. First, swimsuits. Michael Phelps was all over the news for a new fancy swimsuit years ago. It was modeled after shark skin to help reduce the friction while he swam through the water. It's these tiny overlapping scales that helped him push through the water quicker. We did the same thing with trying to stay warm in water with a wetsuit. Just looked at beavers and how did their hair keep the water off their skin. So wetsuits have this little almost fur that creates an air gap, helps keep us warm. One of the more interesting ones for me is how wind turbine blades were modeled after fins on a humpback whale. Humpback whales have this unique shaped fin with these bumps all over them, tuberculous. I hope I said that right. I'm sure someone out there will let me know. But it helps them maneuver through the water, and when they come out of the water, just as graceful in the air. Someone caught on to that and then started shaping wind turbine blades, just like the humpback whale's fins. It now catches wind 40% better. Thanks, humpback whales. The bullet train in Japan? That had a problem when it went through tunnels creating sonic booms. So that's just different densities in air. What goes through different densities in air better than the kingfisher? It's a bird that dives into water to get its fish with almost no splash. The shape of its beak and head cuts right through multiple mediums with a very, very little difference. Well, guess what that train got shaped after? Yep, kingfisher. Now it cuts through the different air densities without a problem. Another one? Velcro. Nope, not invented by NASA. No, not aliens. George de Minstrel noticed how burrs stuck to his dog's hair, and after putting them under a microscope, invented that hook and loop method that we see in Velcro. Not a bad idea. I think he probably did pretty good with that. Then there's things like human flight. Curious minds all over the world watched birds on a regular basis to figure out how they could glide so carefully through the air. Well, and that includes one of the brightest minds in history, someone I love to study, Leonardo da Vinci. They studied birds, and the result is human flight. So, when you think about biomimicry, think of it as cheating off nature. Nature has done the work. We're just kind of peeking in on how they did it and see, can we use it for us? Is it going to solve a problem that we have? A lot of the times the answer is yes, and we get that jump start. Luckily, we didn't have to make a million years worth of mistakes before we got it right. So, hello nature, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please share it with a friend. The more people who see it, the more people who search it, and the more people who get to chat about sustainability. We always appreciate your support, and we'll see you next week.
If you have the desire to be sustainable but are unsure of what can go in the recycling bin, or you're constantly forgetting the reusable grocery bags, check out Starting Sustainability, the podcast. Don't be frustrated or confused anymore. Starting Sustainability was created to help those beginning their sustainable journey. Each week, we give ideas on simple concepts you can easily incorporate into your current lifestyle. We also share stories of what works and what doesn't, so you don't have to waste your time and money. Check out Starting Sustainability, available everywhere you listen to podcasts.